what's going on, you guys? It's Meta Knight 894 here, back with another video today. As you can see, the backdrop is up, which means it's time for another review. So in the last review, I believe the last thing that we looked at was my Titans Return Hot Rod, that being review number 18, if I remember correctly. I'm probably not. I'm not remembering this right. So the actual title of the actual number of the previous review should be floating past your faces as you see. Right, so in today's review, we're going to be taking a look at another Transformers review. So while looking upon my shelf one of these days, here's story time. So I was looking upon my shelf today when I noticed that I have more Autobots than Decepticons, and I figured, let's fix that since I like the Autobots more. So when going to the dollar store, I found one of these. So today we're going to be taking a look at this. The Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Autobot Springer. So if you guys don't know, this line right here is a line that happened before Transformers Earthrise, which is what my Transformers Earthrise Optimus Prime was all about. So this line came first, and then it's Earthrise, and then it's going to be something called Transformers Kingdom, which is all part of the War for Cybertron trilogy. So as usual, before we take a look at Springer, we'll take a quick look at the box. As you can see right there, it says Transformers Siege War for Cybertron trilogy, Autobot Springer, Transformers, nice red backdrop where you will see the figure. Takara Tomy, Transformers Generations, right there. We have Transformers in that red color. I'm still surprised that Takara is responsible for making this figure. Right, so on this side of the box, we have an awesome, sick-looking image of Springer right there. Right here, he is a Voyager class, a Clase Viajero, Clase Voyager, a Clase Voyager. On the side of the box, we have some really sick artwork of the War for Cybertron trilogy, which is basically the Transformers war before they came to Earth. As you can see, there's the arc blasting off. There's a sick looking image of Optimus right there. There's Sideswipe right there. There's Cybertron, and I think I see Megatron, I don't know. On top of the box, we have Autobot logo. It looks quite battle worn. On the bottom of the box, words and stuff that nobody cares about. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shop, 26 steps, 25 step, compatible with Blue Shop X. And right there, we don't have a brief bio in these boxes, which is odd. Alright, but that's basically it for the packaging. So let's go ahead and get him out here. And moving right along, here we have Springer in obviously his more recognized mode, his helicopter mode. Now, fun fact about Springer is that I wouldn't be surprised if he never got an Earthrise figure release, because if you guys have seen the I'm sorry, readjusting my camera right here. If you guys have seen, you should see a picture of the movie cover right there. If you guys have seen Transformers the movie, the 86 movie, you probably already know that Springer's vehicle mode looked exactly like this. And I'm happy that he looks exactly like how he does in the G1 show. Right, so let's have a closer look at Springer. As you can see, this is a Siege for Cybertron line, so is known, the Siege for Cybertron figures that have battle damage paint applications. That's honestly my only sort of that thing that bothers me about the Siege War for Cybertron figures, is that battle damage. I'm not used to seeing that on most figures. But getting close here, as you can see, we have the front of Springer, nice battle damage. It's in yellow with some battle damage, you can just paint it over with some silver. Battle damage right here, with Autobot symbol right there. Blue cockpit, battle damage on the roof, battle damage on the rear. No silver tires, we got some blue tires, which is alright, I don't mind. At least it's not black, at least it's a different color. On the other side, kinda see what's going on under there. Right, since he technically does have wheels, I guess he can still roll. But the main accessory, since he's a helicopter, you get to spin these helicopter blades. And they spin very nicely. Watch. There you go. Nice. Very nice. And if you that's just fun for days. That's just fun for days. And it looks like a helicopter on camera, which is very nice. I always wanted to have a Springer figure, but I never was able to find like a Springer that looked G1 accurate until now. I'm very happy I picked this up from the dollar store. So we have that. Now for comparison, since we're talking Autobots here, let's bring in some Autobot comparisons. So to compete with Springer, here is Combiner Wars Silverbolt, since he is a flying Autobot. So you can see how they look together. Silver Bolt obviously being bigger, because this is when Voyagers were much more bigger sized, and I still wish that they were this size. Sorry, I ate before I did this. Rather than being shrunk to this size right here, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't mind. I already gotten used to it anyway. All right. Next comparison, we have our previous review. Here is Hot Rod in his vehicle mode, in his car mode, iconic car mode. Springer is much bigger in helicopter mode than Hot Rod in this case. There we got that. Here he is with something more recent. Here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime. Here he is with. See how they look together. Without his trailer, a Springer is bigger. And oh my god, are you kidding me right now? My camera's about to run out of battery. One sec, guys. Alright, sorry about that, you guys. So, as it turns out, my battery died and I had to go ahead and charge it real quick. So, for me, it took like about an hour. But for you guys, it was like a few seconds, so no worries. But yeah, as you can see, quite the size difference there between Earthrise Optimus without his trailer and Springer. So there you have that. And let's go ahead and do something a bit more formal. So let's bring in this guy who I haven't used for a comparison for a while. Now for the last comparison I got was comparing to a former leader class figure. Here he is with one of my older favorites, Power of the Prime's leader class Optimus Prime. I haven't pulled out this guy for a comparison in a while. And again, as I've mentioned in that review, I love this figure, I really do. Probably the weakest state of the truck mode is this back section right here. I hate the way that looks. Other than that, it looks good. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Springer. So let's go ahead and move Springer over to right here so we can see how Springer scales with Power Master Prime. This isn't Power Master Prime, it's Power of the Prime's Optimus. So we can see here how they look together. And apparently I tightened my tripod too. Whoa, now I got something so loose. Alright, so as you can see right there, you can clearly see the difference there, nicely. With the blades attached, with the helicopter blades attached to Springer, he is slightly bigger than the cab. I'm looking through my the viewfinder of my camera right here. But if we were to put it from trailer to back, then you can kind of see the difference there. So there you have that. So let's go ahead and move him aside. And just without the trailer, here is a smaller comparison. So as you can see, way shorter than Springer without the trailer. So there you have that. Now, let's move on to accessories. So, Springer does come with these two guns right here. Also, a thing I'd like to point out about the box. Remember how in my Power of the Primes video we had to we got a red strip and we had to look at a map piece? It's not the same with the Siege figures, because as you can see, the red background is just that one symbol. We don't get like a red strip in this one, so now just keep that in mind. Also, might as well, I'm gonna bring this up right now before we move on to the accessories. Is that one of the frustrating things, the only frustrating thing I had with Springer is the instructions when I first transformed him, took him out of the box and tried to transform him. I couldn't understand like at least like 5 of the steps that they had in the instructions. I had to resort to a video. And if you guys are going to buy Springer, which I highly suggest you do, buy Springer. This Springer is really cool. Don't listen to the instructions. Watch a video on how to transform this guy, because videos are way more reliable than those instructions, because I could not understand what they were talking about. Now, anyways, that being out of the way, let's continue. So, his two accessories, he does come with these two guns right here, which they are cast in a sort of muted light blue plastic. At least that's what I make of it, anyway. So, they do look similar. Oh, actually, no, they don't. They don't look similar at all, actually. They're two different molds. This one looks a bit more smoother, while this one looks a bit more complex. As you can see. The guns, as you can see, they can combine as one to form a rifle for Springer. Now, you can't store this in vehicle mode. So, what you can do is you can put the two guns, you can split them apart, put them in the front, right here. So you can totally arm up Springer from the front. in a War for Cybertron-esque get-up right there. 2 guns in the front. Or, what you can do, since Springer's in helicopter mode, what you can do is, if you look closely, there are these. There should be some tabs right here. Oh wait, no. There's these ports right here. I thought it was a tab. No, it's a port. And you can attach the guns to these ports like that. Just move that out the way for clearance. Do the same on the other side, right here. You can just attach the gun like so, like that, and you can totally arm up Springer that way if you choose. So that's another thing you can. That's another way to store the guns. And the next way you can store the guns is that you could put them up here, but the problem is I haven't tried this. Yeah, look, it stops the propeller from spinning, and it just popped out, and the guns just popped out. So I wouldn't recommend doing that in vehicle mode. That's more reserved for Springer's car mode, Cybertronian car mode. And yeah. And as the final accessories that Springer comes with would be the helicopter rotor and the 2 blades, which becomes Springer's swords in robot mode. As I've already mentioned a few seconds ago, it does spin very, very nicely. So now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to transformation, shall we? We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna teach you how to turn Springer from helicopter mode into his car mode, which is the lesser known of the 2 modes, because everybody who's seen Transformers G1 mainly knows Springer in his helicopter mode, not so much his car. And like I said, if you've seen the '86 movie, he only transforms into his car mode once, while he transforms into his helicopter mode the rest of the time. So, right, let's get started on the transformation. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna remove the helicopter blade. Parts forming, this does not count as parts forming because it's an accessory. It's not part of the transformation. So, in your face, parts former complainers. Right, so next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna remove the helicopter blades, which will become these really, really awesome swords for Springer. We'll have a look at those when we transform into robot mode. And right here's the rotor, which you're not gonna need that in car mode. Okay, so now let's get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to untab this section right here, bring it out, untab this section right here, bring that out. Alright, next thing you're going to do is you're going to, alright, so here's what's happening. So if you look underneath, you could see that there's these joints folded up. What you're going to do is you're going to want to grip the arm like this. Well, actually first, before you do that, you're going to want to open this panel up first. You're going to want to open this panel, fold this up, then close that back up. There you go. Alright, so we can get those out of the way. Alright, open this panel up, then you're going to open this panel right here, fold this panel back up, close this panel, and then tab that back in. As you can see, this tiny panel has a peg which will plug into what will be Springer's fists. Do that first before you're going to do what I tell you. Now, if you look right here very carefully, there is a joint. What you're going to want to do is grab Springer's arms and stretch out that joint like that. Then you're going to bring the arm forward, and as you can see, there is a tab right there, a muted blue tab that will connect right there. So we're going to go ahead and put it forward. You hear that click? Look, I'll demonstrate again. Alright, so that tab will plug into right there, so you pull it forward. You should hear a tab when it clicks. Like that. And then you collapse the arm. Like that. Second verse, same as the first. You grab the arm, stretch out that joint. Alright, tab and port right there. So wait until you hear a click, and then collapse in the arm. Oh, that came undone. Stop it! There you go. Close that back up. And there you have, for the most part, the most of the front done. We're not done just yet. What we're going to need to do now is we're going to untab the roof section right there. Pull it forward for now. We'll put that back up later. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to split apart this section right here. We're going to split apart the rear rotor. We're going to split it apart. split apart the helicopter fin. That will split into 2 tiny fins, and then on top of mine, this is very tight, and I don't like that fact that it's scary to split these apart. Just like how most Transformers figures, when they have... Oh, there we go, I got it. Oh, thank God. Okay, right, so the next thing you're gonna do is... Oh, this came undone. Stop it! Right, so the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to fold this out. Fold this out as well. And then the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to fold this forward. You're gonna rotate this around, like so. Rotate that around, like so. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to rotate this section 360 degrees. There we go, I was twisting it the wrong way, I think. Or can I not twist it? I don't think I can twist it. Alright then, that's good to know. Alright. Next thing you're going to do is this will form into Springer's hip in robot mode. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this up like that. Fold this down. Do the same on the other side. Move the arm out of the way first. Fold this up. Fold the leg down. Or what will be Springer's leg in robot mode, but we're not doing it in robot mode yet. Next, you're going to rotate the thigh. Or what will be Springer's thigh. Like that. Alright then, you can go ahead and tap these the arms back in now. Alright, now this is where the transformation gets very interesting. So right here, there is a cool looking joint that we're going to do. First is you're going to fold this up, fold up the wheel so it's in its proper place, like that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to tab this in. And, oh no, I'm doing that wrong, I think. I'm doing that wrong. Wait a minute. Let me look. Am I doing this wrong? Hold on, wait a second. Am I doing this wrong? Hold on, wait a minute. I think I'm doing this wrong somehow. Alright, we'll leave that right there for now. Alright, so fold up the wheel. Should close in like that. And there you go. I'm doing this wrong for some reason. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong here? Hold on guys, I'll figure this out. Wait a sec. Alright, let's see. What am I doing wrong? What am I messing up here? Oh, I think I have to do this. Is that what I do? I forgot. And I practiced during the review, so how on earth did I forget what I'm supposed to do here? Okay, right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, guys. Alright, so here's where the transformation gets very interesting. Alright, no, I'm dumb. Okay, yeah, you're supposed to leave it like that. Alright, so here's where the transformation gets very interesting. So there is a special joint right here that when you fold it forward, the entire section folds forward. Like that. So the wheels are now in the proper rotation. I'm an idiot, and yeah, they were in the correct spot. I'm dumb. You guys already figured that out, huh? I'm a masked idiot. But anyways, so what you're gonna do, the leg was right there, it's in helicopter mode. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna rotate this around like that. Very interesting rotation joint. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is, as you can see right here, there's these 2 small shaped objects, which are the exact shape of this. So what you're gonna do here is, let me get the roof out of the way so you can see this. You're gonna sneak that in right there so it fits perfectly. And then you're gonna do the same on the other side. You're gonna take this part right here. You're gonna sneak it in. Like that. And the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna tab the 2 parts of the wheels together, like that, until you hear a click. There you go. And the next thing you gotta do is tab in the roof. So as you can see, there are 2 tabs on the roof right there, which will tab in right there. Just go ahead and tap that in. If I can get the tab to work. Oh no, stuff's coming undone. Stop it! You do not do this when I prep this off camera, because I've transformed you several times already. It's been like, I think, like a few weeks since I bought this figure. Since I bought Springer. So yeah, a few weeks has passed for the most part. Alright. Pretty sure I got everything. Hearing a few clicks. I think everything's in its proper place, pretty sure. Alright, everything's tabbed in. Is everything going into properly? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? We are done. Awesome. So there you have Springer in his Cybertronian car mode. I like it. He looks just like the movie. He rolls extremely well, which is very nice. Overall, yeah, he looks how he does in the G1 movie, and that's honestly all I wanted to see from this figure. As long as he looked like how he did in Transformers the '86 movie, I'm happy, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. He rolls very nicely too. And right here, you can kind of see it a bit better, but you can see the battle damage I pointed out earlier in the video. And it's on the right here on the back of the car, on the roof, as I mentioned. Alrighty, so now there are other things you can do in vehicle mode. So now you can put the guns right here. Oh, I dropped one. You put the gun right there, and you can put the gun. You can put the guns right there if you want to. Now that the helicopter rotor is removed, you can put the guns back here. Have that Cybertronian weaponized vibe going on. Or if you're a Batman 1989 fan like I am, you can totally have a 1989 Batmobile vibe going on. You can totally do that. I'm all for it. I like it. The swords, what you can do with the swords is they can store on the sides right here. So as you see on the swords, there's a slot and there's a tab on the roof right there. So what you can do is you can tab these in. Best way to do this is to have them backwards, because if you face them forward, look, I'll show you. If you tab them forward, it looks like that. That doesn't really look good. So the best way to do it is from the back. Like that. That's a more better look if you're into storing weapons in the vehicles. I usually prefer to leave them off. Leave them off. And there you have that. Now, for comparison, in Springer's vehicle mode, let's bring back in Hot Rod, so you can have an idea of how that looks. And you know what? Let's bring in his engine block. Since Springer has guns in the front, let's give Hot Rod his guns and put him on the front. Like that. The side view, Hot Rod is just as big as Springer, with the guns attached. Without him, Springer is slightly bigger from the front, right here. So you have that. Let's bring back in Earthrise Optimus Prime. Go ahead and bring the boy back in, our boy Optimus Prime, so we can see how that looks from a Siege figure compared to Earthrise figure. And like I mentioned in my Earthrise video, I didn't like the Siege version of Optimus. I didn't like the Cybertronian vehicle mode. It just didn't look it didn't look good to me, I don't think. Like for example, if you watch Transformers Animated, that vehicle mode looks better than the Siege figure. There's an image right there, if you know, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Optimus is still shorter than what's called Springer. We won't bring in Silverbolt for this comparison, since it wouldn't exactly be a fair comparison. So let's bring back in Power Master Prime. I like Power Master Prime so much, I keep confusing my Power of the Prime's Optimus for him. Here is Power of the Prime's Optimus, just a cab without the trailer, so we can get an idea how that looks. See how that looks. Pretty short. Well, let's add in the trailer to see how that looks. And the answer? Pretty big difference there. I think the trailer is just as big as Springer, so you can get an idea of how big Springer is. So there you have that. And overall, nice paint applications to our show here in vehicle mode, which I think is pretty good. And now, the main event. Let's transform it one more time. This time into robot merch. Halloween, so let's do it. So, let's remove the guns, and let's get started. Let's transform Springer into the guy we know. After all, he has better things to do tonight than die. So let's do it. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna untab the roof, bring it forward for now, and then the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to bend the feet back so the feet are out of that gap. Then the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to split the feet back apart like that. Then we're gonna undo that rotation joint. We're gonna flip it back into the way it was in helicopter mode, and we're gonna keep it like that for robot mode. Just go ahead and fold these back. And this time what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up the wheels, fold the car fins back in, close that back up. Open this up, fold the fins back in, close it up. Then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fold down the feet, and there you have Springer's legs all done. Very fast, huh, guys? I know. Next thing you're gonna do is you're going to untab Springer's arms, and you're gonna bring them down all the way, so they look like that. Second verse, same as the first. Untab, bring all the way down, like that. So it looks like Skinny Longbones, or that one character from that one book. I forgot his name. Alright, we're not gonna worry about that right now. Okay, so make sure Springer's waist is nice and oriented properly. Oh, probably might want to fix the arms for that. There we go. Alright, make sure everything's oriented properly in the legs. You got the legs all done. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to untab the hood of the car slash helicopter. And the way you do that is, what you have to do is you have to pull this section right here. You have to pull it up like that. Then the next thing you do is you push down on the hood itself to give you enough room to untab it, like that. Okay, guys? Now, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this entire section down, fold these in. Then you're gonna fold this entire section back up. Oh wait, no you're not. I'm doing this wrong. Okay, you pull this all the way back, I meant to say. And you fold this all the way down, like that. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to rotate Springer's head so it's facing the proper orientation. Close this up. Then what you're gonna do now is you're going to collapse the chest with the cockpit, like that. Make sure Springer's head is oriented properly when you do this. Okay, and as you can see, there's two tabs to tab into those slots right there. So let's go ahead and do that, like so. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this up, fold this section up, like that. Okay, next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna pull off this joint right here. Pull this joint up, like that. So the cockpit is now on Springer's back. Then the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to fold this section down, like that, so Springer is flush with his belt. Right, now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold the cockpit section all the way back, like that. Then you're going to take the roof of the car slash helicopter, tab it in place, like that. Alrighty, now the next thing you're going to do, now that we got Springer's chest and head oriented the right way, you're going to tab in Springer's arms. So you're going to rotate this up, and that same mute tab from helicopter mode, I believe, will tab into the sides. Like, if I can get the green fillers to stay in, like that. Tab those in like that. You're going to do the same on the other side. Blue tab will fit into that slot right there. Like that. There you go. Okay. Now the next step you got to do is you're going to open up the same panels from before, but this time what you're going to do is you're going to fold the front of the car forward like that. Then you're going to fold this up, close it up, and that will fill up that gap. Same on the other side. Open up this tab, grab where the wheel is, fold it forward. The arm will remain straight when you do this, so I'll demonstrate. So grab the arm, fold this section forward. The part with the wheel will rotate, not the arm. Remember this. Remember this when you do it. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold this up, and then you close that up, and that will fill up that gap right there. Alright, make sure Springer's arms are all nice and tabbed in. That's the only thing that I find annoying, is that these two filler parts, they sometimes pop out and eventually untab. That's the only thing I find annoying. Other than that, everything is hunky-dory. Alright, make sure everything's oriented properly. Okay, make sure everything's nice and tabbed in. And have we done everything? Yeah, we've done everything. And there you go. There you go. There you have Siege War for Cybertron Springer in his robot mode. And he looks awesome. He looks just like G1 Springer. And I automatically approve of that. So let's get in close here so we can take a look at the head sculpt. That's definitely Springer. If I can get my camera to focus. There we go. That's Springer to a peak. That is no doubt Springer. If you've seen Transformers G1, then you know who this is. It's Springer. Without a doubt, it is Springer. Now, it's time to bring in his accessories. So, as I mentioned earlier, you can combine Springer's two guns together to form a rifle for him to use, and you can give it to him like that, and he could blast Junkions or Decepticons with his humongous rifle. You can totally do that if you want to. Or, in case you guys are wondering what to do with the propeller or rotary piece, what you do is the only place to store it is on the back. So just plug it back in where it was in helicopter mode, and that's where it'll stay. So that way you don't lose it. Problem solved for those of you guys who are wondering. And of course, you obviously can, if you don't want Springer to use his guns, what you can do is you can store Springer's gun on the back like that, or you can split them apart and put them on both sides. Either way works. What you can do is you can give Springer his swords. Now let's have a closer look at those, and they have a very, if my camera can focus, there you go, a very nice design on the blade. Really cool. The handle looks pretty nice, the guard looks pretty nice. It has that slot, as I mentioned, for robo mode. Yeah, they're both symmetrical. They both look exactly the same, so there's no need to worry about that. So yeah, let's go ahead and give old Springer his swords, because in the movie he was known for using his swords. So let's go ahead and give him his swords. He can fight Decepticons the old-fashioned way and the awesome way, using his swords, if he so chooses. Or, as shown in the back of the box, here's another thing you can do. What you can do is, you can combine Springer's swords with his rifle. Now you may be wondering, how is that possible? Because I didn't even discover that that was a thing. The instructions don't even tell you that you can do this, but the box art on the back of the product shots, they show you that you can combine Springer's swords with his gun. Now I'm going to teach you how you can do that. Leave MK894 is your job. Now, if you look very closely on the second gun, there are two tabs right there. And if you remember the slots from earlier, they can also combine like that with Springer's rifle, since they're the exact same size. So what you do is you plug them in. My swords are slightly bent, so that they won't look the same on yours, but they look like this on mine, so don't worry about it. Okay. Now you just like tab them in, like so, and you can totally have this interesting looking rifle design. Looks like a heavy rifle, honestly. I think it looks cool. It's not bad, it looks alright. Looks like a heavy rifle combined with swords. And you can totally give that to Springer, and he could totally use it in battle. You can totally blast Decepticon faces, and he could stay alive. After all, he has better things to do tonight than die, so he can totally make that happen. Or, if you don't want Springer to use the swords, as I mentioned, you can still use the two tabs from helicopter mode, or car mode, and store his swords on the back, right there. If you don't want him using any of his weapons, you just store it on his back. And he won't lose them. He'll just stay tabbed in, nice and easy. So there you have that. Very nice, very nice. The green and the yellow and the silver and the muted blue match very nicely. I dig that. I dig that a lot. Only complaint on mine is that they're a little loose. The tabs I think are a bit too small compared to the swords. So that's why Springer doesn't tend to hold them too well. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go ahead and give him one of his swords. This is how I display my Springer, by the way. Is that I have him holding one of his swords while I leave the other one combined with his gun. Like that. So that way I don't lose any of his accessories. I can't talk today. Accessories. I apologize, you guys. There you have that. Now, for comparison. Alright, so let's start off with something small. So, since I was using Hot Rod as a comparison, and I do apologize for the audio, my birds are acting so annoying. Well, they're not really my birds, but anyways. Here is with Titans Returns Headmaster Fire Drive, since I have Hot Rod here to compare. So you can get an idea of the sense of scale there. So there you have that. Ignore the birds, I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. Right. So speaking of Hot Rod, let's go ahead and bring him over, shall we? Let's go ahead and bring him over to see how good he looks in robot mode in comparison to Springer. So here is Hot Rod with Springer. So we can get an idea how they look together. I like that. Two robots from the 86 movies side by side. Looks pretty good. Only difference is Hot Rod is in battle damage while Springer is. So big difference there, I guess you could say. Okay, let's start off with something a bit more recent. So let's go ahead and bring in Earthrise Optimus Prime, so we can see how that looks. As you can see, Prime looks bigger than Springer, from what I could see there. Very nice. All right, let's do it. Let's do it with some of the former figures. Now here we have Voyager Silverbolt, Springer. You have better things to do tonight than die or faint. That's even worse. But anyways, let's go ahead and have you straightened out, Springer. Make sure everything's nice and straight, like that. Right, so here is Silverbolt from a very previous line, from the Combiner Wars line. I think started in 2015, so this figure is years old by now. I like it when Voyager class figures were this big. I don't mind this size, but I prefer them when they're this big. So right there's your sense of scale, and my birds are really annoying me, and they won't can it. Right, and last but not least, of course, we have two more figures left to go. You'll understand what I mean in a sec. So here we have Power the Prime's Orion packs, just so you could see how they scale together. Very nice. And of course, last but not least, we have one more figure left. Right, so last but not least, here is, of course, the former Leader class figure, Power the Prime's Optimus Prime. And now, this was around the time when Leader class figures are still big, like they should be. Just look how big Power of the Prime the Optimus is compared to Springer. This is how big Leader class figures should be. Don't get me wrong, I still love Earthrise Optimus Prime, I really do. But I prefer the size of the former Leaders. And yeah, he just towers over Springer. So you can get an idea of how the size scaling has changed ever since the freaking Siege for Cybertron line started. I still love this figure, by the way. And he's finally given justice in this video, because I'm actually using him in comparison, since I'm actually able to bring this guy out. Also, unless you guys haven't noticed, not sure if I pointed this in a previous video before, but I did modify my Optimus. What I did here, instead of using a silver Sharpie, I went ahead and used a gold one to fill in these lines right here. They were just red originally, and the headlamps right here, I filled those in. I'm pretty sure that's all the modifications I did with the gold Sharpie. I could be wrong, but yeah. He looked just better that way, I think. So there you have that. Now, articulation-wise, his arms, you'd think they would go 360, but they do have an actual stopping point right here. So his arms don't go to full 360, but they go back that far. They go back that far, they go forward pretty far, but they stop at that point right there. So not a full 360. His arms can fold out this way, and you can utilize that joint if you guys want. He does have a 90-degree arm rotation. He does have a wrist swivel. You do have some waist rotation, although it isn't. He doesn't have full 360, but he does have some waist rotation, which is good. His head can move the full 360 due to transformation. So, and my birds are being even more louder than before. His legs can move out that far. He has a thigh swivel for the sake of transformation. He does have an actual knee joint, which is good, which goes over 90 degrees bend at the knee, and you can utilize that transformation joint if you want to increase his leg movement even further. As a matter of fact, you can still use that transformation joint as a knee if you want to, even though the knee is actually right there. So he does have ankle tilt. You can tilt all the way. His feet can go forward. They can go back that much. They can go back that much only. As I said, he can move his foot that way if that serves any purpose to you. And you can still utilize this joint if that serves any purpose to you. It's there. You can totally use that if you like. And yeah, so there you have that. Let me just straighten him out the way he was just a minute ago. Just on the side. And yeah, that pretty much sums up Springer's articulation for the most part, I think. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Still I recommend you guys buy this figures. If you guys like the G1 cartoon, like I did, who else doesn't like Transformers G1? Like, I definitely do. So, do I recommend you guys get this figure? If you guys are Transformers G1 fans, definite yes on that one. If you guys are just Transformers fans, but love the character in general, this is a pretty good figure to pick up, and I highly recommend you pick him up. If you guys are trying to collect all the seeds for Cybertron figures, pick this guy up. He's a really good figure. And overall, yeah, buy this figure if you guys like. So that's gonna pretty much wrap up this review. So what did I think of Springer? I think he's pretty good. Definite nostalgia fuel for the most part, since I did grow up with the '86 movie. So definite happy memories for me, and I'm really happy with my purchase. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the background art of the Seeds for Cybertron line right there. Let me just zoom out. There we are. That looks good. Right, so you guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, I can't even talk. I'm messing on my outro, just like always. But then again, I'm a masked idiot, aren't I? Of course I am. You guys may not think so, but I sometimes think I'm an idiot. But anyways, right, you guys, so if you guys like this video, be sure to smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notifications for most of my videos, because you already know about the COPPA rules. They won't notify you about my reviews because I have to mark them as kids, because I already discussed that in my previous videos. So now you guys remember. Right, so anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you guys liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get notifications for most of my uploads that I will do in the future. So be sure to do that if you guys are new to the channel. As usual, links in the description down below for my Discord server and my DeviantArt. So if you're interested in checking out both, links in the description down below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Transformers Seeds War for Cybertron Trilogy, Voyager Springer. And this is MK94, aka Meta Knight 894, signing out. Peace out, Galaxy Defenders. And remember, you never know unless you find out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, you guys. I have better things to do tonight than die. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stop saying that. That's just one of Springer's most iconic lines in the movie. It's just so cool. But anyways, you guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, you guys. Black out.